Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. I've just gone live. Immediately after the match, the penalty shootout is going on. Jorginho has just scored his. That is 3 penalties out of 3 for us. It's Odegaard has scored his, Zinchenko scored his, Jorginho scored his. So before we go to the match reaction, let's finish the penalty shootout. We've just drawn 1-1 with Bournemouth. Our penalty techniques are absolutely incredible. HEIN has just made an incredible save as well. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see how the rest of the transfer window. I'm so used to the transfer window. Let's see how the rest of the penalty shootout goes. So far, Arsenal leading 3-2. Let's see Bournemouth fourth penalty. We are usually so good at penalties, usually score like every single penalty that we take. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see Bournemouth's fourth penalty. Bournemouth has scored 3-3, but we still have to take our fourth penalty. Let's see who'll win this game. So penalty shootout. Jorginho scored his, Zinchenko scored his, Odegaard has scored his. Let's see who's taking it next. Let's get the win. It doesn't really count the result, but let's win the game in terms of the penalty shootout. Let's win that. So whichever result was going to be today, we were going to have a penalty shootout either way. So let's see how it goes. Who's taking the fourth penalty for Arsenal? We are coming to the match reaction very soon. Let's see who's taking the fourth penalty for Arsenal. Trossard is taking the fourth penalty. Let's see how it goes. I usually trust a lot of the Arsenal players in terms of penalties, but let's see this one before I speak too early. Trossard steps up. He's hit the post. Trossard has hit the post from the penalty, but Trossard has hit the post. That is first miss for us. We rarely miss penalties, like we usually score like all of them. Unlucky with that one. Trossard hits the post. So 3-3 on penalties. Last one, Bournemouth is taking the fifth one now. Unlucky for Trossard hits the post. Let's see. 3-3 after 1-1 on in terms of the game. Fifth penalty for Bournemouth. HEIN made an incredible save from Bournemouth's second penalty. Absolutely fantastic. Bournemouth to take their fifth penalty. Straight down the middle. Bournemouth are now leading 4-3 in the shootout. Arsenal to take the fourth penalty now. Who's taking the last penalty? Trossard has really taken Odegaard, Zinchenko, Jorginho. I don't know who'll take the fifth penalty. Is it Jesus, maybe? Let's see who's taking our fifth penalty. I usually trust Arsenal a lot from penalties. Let's hope we score the last one and keep it going. Who's taking the fifth one? Jesus. Jesus at Man City has never really taken penalties at Arsenal. At Man City, he was no great at penalties. Let's see. What am I talking about? Fantastic penalty by Jesus. 4-4, sudden death now. Why am I nervous for a friendly match? Like, penalty shooters are crazy. Like, I'm nervous. Like, I'm scared of losing this penalty shootout. This is crazy. 4-4, 5 penalties each. Sudden death now. Bournemouth to take the sixth penalty. We've scored 4 of ours. We've missed 1. Trossard unlucky hitting the post. Bournemouth taking the sixth penalty. We are now heading to the, let's see. Save. KARL with the save. 2 penalty saves by KARL. Fantastic. Let's score our last one. Let's hope he was on the line. Do they check that here? Yeah, he was on the line. No worries. KARL 2 penalty saves. Fantastic. He could end up being our second goalkeeper next season. Who knows? Kivior is taking the last penalty. He might end up leaving us, so let's hope you finish your Arsenal career with a positive. Kivior to take the last penalty. I've never seen him taking a penalty before. Jakub Kivior steps up, left foot, scores. Arsenal win it on penalties. It's just a friendly, but we've won the penalties. I usually want us to keep on winning these penalty shootouts just in case. You never know where you're going to find yourself. You could find yourself in the Champions League final in a penalty shootout. Arsenal win on penalties 5-4. Odegaard scored his, Zinchenko scored his, Jorginho scored his, Jesus scored his, Kivior scored his, and Trossard hit the post with his. But KARL with 2 fantastic saves, absolutely brilliant. So Arsenal draw with Bournemouth 1-1 in the friendly. 5-4 4 on penalty. So let's get to the match action. Let me know how you guys are feeling. It's very early in the morning, but hey, we're always up for Arsenal, always here to talk about Arsenal every single time. So that's the very first friendly match. Last season, actually, our first friendly match was a 1-1 draw as well against Nuremberg. And then the rest of the like schedule of the preseason last season was great. After we drew 1-1 with Nuremberg, we did lose to Man United last season, but we did trash Barcelona, trash MLS Ultras, and all those teams. We played well. So that is it for the game. Brilliant performance. So let's cover what happened in the game. If you're just waking up, if you watched the game, let me know. There's a couple of players I'm going to talk about, players who shined in this particular game. Again, it's only a friendly match because I can still see people in the comments saying, why didn't you win? Listen, you don't have to win, Man still lost to Celtic yesterday. Chelsea have just drawn with Wrexham. United lost to Rosenborg. Liverpool lost to Preston. So all of those teams didn't really win their first games. For the first game, usually, especially in the preseason, the first game, it's just for getting up to speed. You're going to rotate. You're going to make 11 changes. Players in the first half, second half are going to be different. You're going to try out some youngsters. Doesn't really matter as long as you get some fire on the legs, pretty much. So let's go to the lineup that we had today before we break down how the match went. So this is the lineup that Arteta went for today in the first half. We had KARL in goal. We had Lewis Skelly at left back once again. Lewis Skelly is usually a central midfielder, but the last 2 games he's played as a left back. So good performance. Didn't really see anything too bad with him. HEIN at centre back with Timber. So when Timber and Ben White are both on the pitch at the same time, they rotate, yes, but Ben White is more of the right back, Timber more of the centre back. And then Partey played in midfield, Salah and NWANERI in front of him. Vieira was on the right side, Nketiah and Reece Nelson. So remember in the preview what I said, there's a couple of players I really want to see in this preseason shining. And one of them was Vieira. I really wanted to see how Vieira does. I actually did say I want to see him playing on the right side. I want to see him playing in the 10. I want to see him playing as number 8 as well in this preseason. Big opportunity for him. There's no Saka, there's no Declan Rice, Odegaard will not play every single game. So big season for Vieira. A lot of you are asking for Vieira to leave. I think he's going to stay. So it's a big season for him, a lot to prove this season. So it's really the one player I really wanted to see, plus Jesus. Obviously, I'm an advocate for Jesus to stay at Arsenal. So I really want him to prove himself starting from this preseason. But that's the lineup we went for. And then everyone else on the bench, the 3 goalkeepers, Negard, Setford, and Rogers, and then a lot of youngsters on the bench as well, and a lot of the first team players on the bench as well. I think the likes of Odegaard and Jorginho and Trossard will play against Man United over the weekend. Now, Smith Rowe was on the bench. We actually had some breaking news overnight. I'll do a video about that one later, about Smith Rowe going to Fulham. So I don't think he was going to play today. At the moment you saw that news, it is obviously Smith Rowe's not going to play today. You can argue, let's play him in the last game. But no, if you play Smith Rowe today and then he gets injured, that's a problem. If a team is ready to pay that 5 million, you don't play a player in the last game of preseason before he leaves. Unfortunately, seems like we've seen the last of Smith Rowe in an Arsenal shirt, unfortunately. But we'll talk about that in the next video. So that's the lineup we went for, and then we'll talk about the substitutions later on. So yeah, I was hoping to see a lot from Vieira. So from this starting lineup, I was hoping to see a lot from Vieira, NWANERI, and Timber. So Timber's been at Arsenal for 1 year, but you've only really seen him in 2 competitive games plus 2 or 3 preseason games. You haven't really got to watch Timber that much at all. So I was really excited to see how he does in this particular game as well. So a bit of a mixed team in terms of starting lineup. Timber just coming back from injury. NWANERI, big season for him. I think he's going to get opportunities this season. Partey, obviously. Salah in midfield. We also had mixed team, the likes of Ben White, the likes of Lewis Skelly, Vieira was there, and then HEIN was there as well, KARL, HEIN, a lot of mixed teams for players who could end up leaving, players who, out of these players on that picture, I think Ben White and Partey are the ones, and maybe Timber, those are the 3 that you'll expect to feature most in the first team. All the others are not really first team players. Fabio Vieira would be on the bench, Nketiah and Nelson are expected to leave, and the rest you'll probably see them in the academy. So NWANERI, in the first 15 minutes of that game, NWANERI was absolutely incredible. Like the way he was taking the ball and, going past players on the right wing. He was basically covering the right wing and covering the Odegaard position as well. He was absolutely incredible, NWANERI. Really, really exciting talent. Really hope we can see a lot of him this season. The way he was not scared at all. And Bournemouth, speaking of Bournemouth's lineup, Bournemouth had a lot of their first team there, Solanke, Billing, Neto, I think Sabani, Semenyo, like Bournemouth had most of their team there. So it was not like a youngsters in Bournemouth's team. And Bournemouth have played another, I think, preseason game before this. So they're a bit ahead of us in terms of the fitness. So NWANERI, the confidence he has of taking on players, he created a superb chance for Nketiah. It was blocked. It went out for a corner, but he looked very sharp in that first half. And he was the one outfield player that played the most minutes today. He played 83 minutes. So I was really excited by NWANERI in the first 10 minutes of that game. Then the rest of the first half, obviously not going to break down every single detail about that game, but Solanke did have a shot that hit the post later on in that first half. Solanke actually had 2 chances in that first half. One of them, Partey lost the ball in midfield. I'm going to tell you that detail if you didn't watch the game. Partey lost the ball right in front of goal, and then Solanke had a shot from it. I think it was saved or he missed it, one of that. I don't remember clearly. I think he put it off target. And then he had a second chance where I think Heaven played him onside, and then he hit the post. So they were a bit unlucky not to score in that first half. We were seeing a lot of Nketiah as well in the first half. A lot of people are saying he was missing chances and stuff. I mean, he was lively. What I can say is, what's the thing with Nketiah? He works very hard. Like if you watch that first half, Nketiah was working very hard. He was on the left side. He was winning free kick after free kick. He was in the center forward throughout the game, right wing, like he was playing every single position. He was even the captain today as well. But I know people will talk about the goals. Like when you get a chance, you need to score. He had a couple of shots. They both were saved, but nothing really too exciting. Another player who was really good in that first half, apart from NWANERI, was Nelson. Like I was like, goodness me, Reece Nelson is looking really sharp. Like he was really good in that first half. He created one of those chances for Nketiah. I think he also had a shot himself. And 10 minutes later, like in the 18th minute, he had a very, very good run. He put in across, and Fabio Vieira scored a fantastic volley goal. Vieira, the player that I really want to see a lot from this preseason, scored the first goal of Arsenal's preseason tour. Absolutely love it. Last preseason as well, he was good. I remember the goal he scored against Barcelona, the penalty against Man City to win us the Community Shield. I need to see a lot from Fabio Vieira. If Fabio Vieira turns out to be the player that he was over at FC Porto, he saves us a lot. Like we don't have to use Odegaard in every single game. We don't have to use Saka in every single game. Like we really need Fabio Vieira. I think Fabio Vieira will definitely stay. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. So we really need him to have a big season. The players we signed in 2022, Vieira, Zinchenko, Jesus. Zinchenko had a very good first season, not the best second season. Jesus had a very good first season, not the best second season. For Vieira, you can argue he didn't really have a good first season and he didn't really have a good second season. So there's nothing too much to go from with that. But today he was looking good. The thing I loved about Vieira today as well, the energy was coming back and defending. He put in a very good block in the second half. Could easily have been a goal for Bournemouth. So the hard work from Fabio Vieira is what I loved as well today. Fantastic from him. And the goal was absolutely brilliant. Make sure to check the goal, Fabio Vieira's goal in this game. Brilliant run by Nelson, brilliant assist, and brilliant finishing from Vieira. So you can see that Vieira has the technique. Like if he stays fit and confident and physicality improves, it looks like he's been in the gym. You don't even have to be physical anyway. There's players who've not been physical in the Premier League and they still shine. Like as long as he shows the quality that he has, because he definitely has quality. Like if you see Fabio Vieira's goal against Barcelona last season, if you see his goal against Brentford 2 seasons ago, if you see his penalty against Man City, like the quality is there. Like he's very, very good technical wise, and he's a very good passer as well. He can shoot the ball. He can play on the right side. He can play as a number 10. We just need to see more from him. And then if we do see more from him, I think we're in a good place. So Nelson and NWANERI are the ones who really impressed me in that first half. NWANERI was looking very confident. Nelson was looking really good as well. We're not going to keep him, so hopefully that performance maybe adds 5 million to his transfer kitty. hopefully. Timber, I was really excited to see Timber as well today. He was playing as a center back. He was playing next to Heaven. Timber is very confident. He's very good on the ball. You can tell he's a player who it's quite actually crazy that you just say, Calafiori, Gabriel Saliba, Ben White, Timber on the bench. If you watch Timber again today, he's an absolutely quality player. Like, you can argue very easily that Timber is a starter in that Arsenal team. Like, he's very, very good. And playing next to those youngsters in the defense, he was playing next to Heaven and next to Skelly, and he was dominating everything as well. We didn't really give out too many chances. Yes, Solanke had 2 shots, but one came from Heaven playing Solanke onside, and one came from a mistake in midfield. But that was it. Like, we weren't, like, Timber wasn't getting past or dribble past or anything like that. Timber's looking really sharp, and this is the player who was out for close to 1 year. We really missed him. The fact that our defense was so good without a player like Timber in the team, that was really good. Timber, you can easily see him playing in midfield. You can easily see him playing at right back. You can easily see him playing at left back. He's an absolutely quality player. Nketiah had a shot in the first half that was also saved right before halftime, and that was pretty much it for the first half, 1-0 to Arsenal. And then at halftime, we brought in Odegaard and took off Salah in midfield. So Odegaard came in for Salah Ollard, and then I think NWANERI moved to the left side to the number 8, and then Odegaard was playing as the number 10. That was the only sub he made in the first half. The second half was a bit more quiet in terms of chances, but Vieira, that's when I saw Vieira doing some defending. He was looking really, really sharp. And then we made 7 changes at once. So we brought in Jesus for Nketiah, and then we brought in Trossard for Nelson, and then we brought in Sago Jr. for Vieira. So he changed the whole front 3. And then we brought in Jorginho for Partey in midfield. And then we brought in Zinchenko at left back for Lewis Skelly. And then we brought in Kivio for Heaven. And then we brought in Rekic for Timber. So we changed the center-back partnership, both of them. We changed the whole front 3. We also changed the left back, and we changed the center midfield, the defensive midfielder. So those are our 7 changes in the 61st minute. I don't want to be too harsh in a friendly match to a youngster, but the truth is, if you watch that second half after Rekic came on, he had a disastrous second half when he came on. Like, Rekic came on for Timber. That cameo was a bit terrible. He basically gave away the ball that we conceded from, and then he also slipped, and HEIN made a very, very good save 1-on-1. Actually, HEIN was very good. HEIN saved 2 very good penalties, and in terms of the game, he made 2 very good saves as well, 1-on-1, and I think Solanke hitting the post. I think he also hit it with his fingertip as well. So HEIN, in terms of the game, HEIN was really good, but Rekic coming on had a bit of a terrible cameo. I think he made like 3 mistakes, but hey, he's a youngster, so I'm not going to go in on him. It doesn't really play regularly, so the nerves are always there, but wasn't the best. I think out of all the players that played today, he's the one that I'd say he wasn't great. But HEIN, he was coming off his line. I know in a Premier League game or a Champions League game, you wouldn't really want HEIN to be a second choice goalkeeper, because there's a lot more that you need to have apart from the saves and penalty saves. There's a lot more. You need to have some leadership at the back, some organization. You need to be great from aerial set pieces and all that. You need to be great at one-on-one shot stopping. You need to be great in a lot of things if you're in HEIN's situation. So, but for today, if you're just judging for today, if I was doing player ratings, I'd give HEIN a solid like 8 out of 10. I think he was really good. Yes, a couple of times he looked nervy, but overall, he did what he needs to do. He made a couple of saves, and in the penalty shootout, he saved 2 penalties as well. Ben White played longer. Ben White played up until the 77th minute, and we still saw the Ben White from last season in terms of standing next to the goalkeeper and bullying the goalkeeper all the time. Absolutely love Ben White's shenanigans. Is absolutely amazing with that. Never gives up. Like, this is a player I want to be here for a lot of many years. Like, he fits the bill completely. Like, in terms of just the housery at defense, he is very good at that. He knows how to defend. These days, he knows how to attack as well, and he just does everything right. Ben White today as well, very, very good. I thought he was going to be. I would have given him captain today. There's something that usually happens with Arsenal. Whenever we give someone captain, they usually end up leaving. I think it has happened with 4 players or something. We gave, starting from Willock, I think we gave Willock captain for 1 game, and then he left the next week. Smith Rowe has now been given captain against Leyton Orient the other day. He's left. And Nketiah was now captain today. He could end up leaving as well very, very soon. Trossard had a chance. The 82nd minute, the shot was saved, and then Goa came in for NWANERI. So we made 10 changes. HEIN was the only player to play 90 minutes today. We never really got to see Smith Rowe. Obviously, he's now going to leave, so we didn't we weren't really going to risk him at all. We didn't get to see the other goalkeepers in Nigard and Setford. We could see them over the weekend. Let's see what happens with that. But overall, satisfied with the performance. I think it's a fair result. We didn't really create a lot of chances in the second half, apart from when Jesus and Trossard came on. It was a bit lively. Trossard had a shot. Jesus had a shot as well. He had a very good touch. The ball coming from the end. Jesus had a very good touch. Odegaard was lively, yes, but we didn't really create too many chances. And Bournemouth themselves, they had a couple of one-on-one chances. Solanke and I don't know who the other guy was that missed them one-on-one. KARL saved it. So overall, I think it was a fair result. I don't think they deserve to win. I don't think we really deserve to win. I thought you were going to keep a clean sheet, but and then the way we considered the goal was very unlucky. It was a deflection. We lost the ball, and then the guy shot the ball, deflected over KARL, and it ended up being 1-1. I think if that didn't happen, it could have won the game. But overall, it's a fair result. The game 1-1, just like last season, we drew 1-1 with Nuremberg in the first game. So I think that is a fair result. Nothing too much to complain about. The players that impressed me the most throughout the game, I am going to say Reiss Nelson was really good. So Reiss Nelson was really good today. He was looking like a different player. I even started thinking, what the hell? Should we give him a new contract or should we sell him for 40 million? Like, what should we do? But he's going to be sold. He's definitely going to be sold. I don't think he's going to be playing next season. So he looked very sharp today. Nelson, I love the fact that he was taking on players. He was confident on both feet, left foot, right foot. He was shooting the ball. He had a good combination in catching the left side, and he got the assist as well. So Reiss Nelson, good performance. If you're going to sell him, maybe you can get an extra 5 million from that performance. NWANERI as well, very confident. I cannot wait to see him playing next season alongside the big boys. You know, I want to see NWANERI next to Saka, and next to Odegaard, and next to Declan Rice in a couple of games. Maybe next to Jesus, maybe next to Havertz. I'd like to see NWANERI featuring in those top players. I think people have been saying, can we make NWANERI our very own Lamine Yamal? Let's hope so. The quality is there. He was confident. He was taking on players. He even had a shot that was blocked right at the end of the game. It was going in for sure. It got blocked basically right before it got to goal. But NWANERI was looking sharp again. He also played on the right wing. He also played as a number 10 before Odegaard came on. And then after Odegaard came on, he was playing as the number 8. So we saw him playing 3 different positions today as well, NWANERI. So NWANERI impressed me. Nelson impressed me. And who would be the third? I'm actually going to go for HEIN. He made 2 very good saves in the game. Both of them were going in, and then he also made 2 penalty stops at the end of the game. And one of them, the second penalty from Bournemouth, it was a very, very good save from HEIN. It was like almost top corner kind of save from a penalty. So I think those are the 3 players that really impressed me. Second half, doesn't too much because we brought in the subs in the 61st minute. I mean, you didn't really get to see a lot of Jorginho, Zinchenko, Trossard, or Jesus, Osago Jr. You didn't really get to see a lot of them. But Vieira, I'm going to go with Vieira as well. I mentioned for Vieira, a very good goal. As I've always said, I need to see a lot from him this season, especially this preseason. Last season, I said I wanted Vieira to stay. I actually predicted him to be our surprise of the season, but that didn't really happen. He was injured for half of it. He picked up a red card and ended up missing some few games, and then he never came back. He was injured at that time. So this is a big season for Vieira. If Vieira comes good for us, we're in a good place. He really, really helps us in terms of a backup for Saka and a backup for Odegaard. So those are the 4 players that really impressed me. But mainly, I'm going to go for HEIN, NWANERI, and Nelson. In terms of players who disappointed, it's very hard again to judge from 45 minutes as well. But Rekic was the one that stood out in the second half. Again, I'm not going to go in on him too much. He's a youngster, probably nervous and stuff. But yeah, his mistake led to the goal. And then he also slipped, and it led to another chance for Bournemouth. Yeah, basically after we changed our centre-back partnership from Timber and Heaven to Kivio and Rekic, it wasn't great. You were being passed so easily, and they created like 3 or 4 chances, and one of them led to a goal, unfortunately. So Rekic was the one that wasn't too great today, but nothing too much as well. I don't think we miss any like standout chances or anything like that. Kete, if I was to give a rating, that was like a 6 out of 10 performance. You know, in terms of energy and hard work, that was there. He was winning us free kicks. He was playing on the left side and all that. But in terms of an actual performance, like scoring and all that, he didn't really get too many chances and all that. So yeah, I'm not going to do a player ratings because it's very hard to judge when other players have played 18 minutes and others have played 45 minutes, 55 minutes. But as I said, those are the three players that have stood out for me, and that is how the game went. First game of the preseason. The result doesn't really matter, and if it does, we won on penalties. If you want to look at that, we won 5-4 on penalties for those who are not aware. I can add it here actually. 5-4 on pens. Odegaard scored his penalty. He put it on the goalkeeper's right side. The goalkeeper came close to it, but it was right in the corner, so he scored from it. Zinchenko's penalty was really good as well, to the right of the goalkeeper as well. Jorginho, you never really expect Jorginho to miss penalties. Trossard hit the post. He also went to the goalkeeper's right, but he hit the post. Jesus scored his fantastic penalty. Jesus' penalty was the best out of all of them today. He put it in the top corner to the goalkeeper's right as well, and then Kiwi as well to the goalkeeper's right. I'm actually seeing a trend. I hope the other teams don't notice. When he played against FC Porto, I think every single penalty he put it to the right side. I think apart from Declan Rice to the middle, to the goalkeeper's left side. Today as well, out of the 6 penalties, I think 5 of them we put it to the goalkeeper's right. Like Odegaard, Zinchenko, Kivio, Jesus, Trossard, like all of them went to that side. So I don't know if it's a trend where we follow each other in terms of where we take the penalties, but I'm sure we're going to have a couple of more penalty shootouts between now and next season, probably in preseason. These days, even if we win or lose, you're still going to have a penalty shootout. So I'm expecting the same against Man United and Liverpool, and then maybe in the Emirates Cup as well. Both games could have penalty shootouts. But good game though, good run out. Good to have Arsenal back. Let's see a few of your comments. RK says, please subscribe and smash the like button. Thank you, RK. Good morning, Muiz. Good man, I've not even slept the whole day, man. Like, it's just been show after show after show. But after this, I'm actually going to do another video on Smith Rowe because we have breaking news on Smith Rowe. Let's see how that one goes. Good morning, Domis. Good game, Arsenal 5-4. NWANERI impressed, says Bryant. Yeah, NWANERI is very impressive. Yeah, welcome, RK. Let's see. Well done, Arsenal played well our first game. Glenn kindly update us on Nico Williams and Merino. Next video. Good morning, how are you? I'm good, Douglas. We won it on penalties. Yeah, we won it on penalties. So yeah, 5-4 on penalties. I'm now happy, praise God, says Al-Haji. So happy for us, says Musa. Good morning to you, Jamu. We won it on penalty. Well, read that one already. See, that's impressive. Let's seal the deal by signing a good striker, says Lamek. Let's see how it goes the next 10 days. We were told that we are sending scouts to watch Gyökeres on Saturday, so that is good news. What about our goalkeeper? I think he was massive. Yeah, Sonny, as I've said, KARL was really, really good. I saw people in the first half tweeting and saying, HEIN, if he was like our goalkeeper in a Premier League game, it would be shocking. Now, listen, I'd still not want like HEIN. I don't think HEIN is ready to play for us against Man City in the Premier League, obviously not. But in terms of the game, the performance, I think he did well. He just signed a new contract with us. We don't really have a second choice goalkeeper if Ramsdale does leave. Right now, we actually have like 6 goalkeepers, but we don't really have a second choice goalkeeper because we're not sure. Ramsdale could leave. HEIN could go out on loan. Setford is there. Nigard is there. Rogers is there. Like, those are 6 goalkeepers that we have. But Trey is the first choice goalkeeper, obviously. And then let's wait and see. I think the second choice goalkeeper is a bit open, but I think next season you're going to see Raya playing a lot of the games, even the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup games. I think you're going to see Raya playing basically 90% of the season. But whoever gets another chance, hopefully they can take advantage of it. HEIN, we said today, good at penalties. He saved a couple today, and he was very good, as Sunny said. HEIN impressed by his performance. Our next game, for those asking, our next game is on Sunday against Man United. Thanks for this show, but I would like to give us a video of penalty shootouts. I can't do that. It would be blocked very, very quickly, Mubarak. I don't own the rights to that one. Dalton says, good morning, Heaven. I'm sure in terms of the highlights, Mubarak, I'm sure if you check on YouTube in the next couple of minutes, you'll find it. It will be there, and Arsenal will also upload the highlights for sure. Dalton says, good morning, Heaven, NWANERI, Vieira, and HEIN were good today. For Heaven, I'll need to rewatch the game. I'm rewatching the game again, actually. Actually, Heaven has the ball as I read this. He played Solanke onside for the Solanke shot that he hit the post. So you could tell, like, in terms of positioning and stuff like that, a bit all over the place. But in terms of performance, he didn't really make any other mistakes or anything, so he was good. Bryant is going to Fulham. But KARL, HEIN, NWANERI, Vieira, good, as well as Nelson was very good in the first half too. Let's see. Let me take a couple more. Isaac says we need to add a striker that will help the team for sure. And then Mark says, Mark from Nairobi, Kenya, I think Arsenal are good because you can see even with weak squad, still Bournemouth can go through them. Yeah, if you look at it like that way, Bournemouth, that is like almost the first team. And for us, that's nowhere near the first team. Like the team that played today does not have Raya. He does not have Saliba. He does not have Gabriel. Those are all starting players. He does not have Calafiori. Oh, it feels so good to say that. This team does not have Calafiori. He doesn't have Rice. That doesn't have Havertz. He doesn't have Martinelli. It doesn't have Saka. It doesn't have a lot of players. And on the bench, we had basically the rest of the first team on the bench. Odegaard, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Jesus, Trossard, all of those players on the bench. So having this particular lineup, and we could easily have had like a 2-goal lead in the first half. Like these are youngsters like Heaven, Skelly, Nwaneri, Salah. These are 4 youngsters plus KARL, HEIN. And then we have, Vieira, who hasn't really played a lot, Timber, who hasn't really played a lot, Nelson and Nketiah both could end up leaving. So Ben White and Timber are the only ones that you can see in the first team next season. So I think out of the performance, I'm really, really pleased with that performance. So that's it. I'm going to keep it short. Nothing much to discuss. I'm going to do a video in the next, it's going to be posted the next 1 hour transfer video, morning one. And then later on today, as always, live stream and all that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.